Somewhere right now there's a spare bedroom, a garage, or an unused office doing absolutely nothing. Meanwhile, 3 streets away, someone's trying to start a podcast, sitting in their bedroom with a $40 microphone, a blanket taped over the window for soundproofing, fighting with a laptop that keeps overheating. Those two people need to meet, and the person who connects them is running a business that can bring in $50 to over $100 an hour, and for a room that used to sit empty. Podcasting isn't a niche hobby anymore. Podcast advertising revenue in the U.S. hit roughly $4 billion in 2025 alone, and that number keeps climbing every year. But here's the gap. Almost everyone starting a podcast hits the same wall. Good audio and video gear is expensive. A decent microphone, an audio interface, proper lighting, a camera setup, and actual soundproofing can easily run several $1,000s. Most beginner podcasters don't want to spend that much before they even know if they'll stick with it. And even podcasters who've been at it a while often don't want to own and maintain all that equipment themselves, or they want a proper-looking set for guest interviews instead of their cluttered home office. That's the exact gap this business fills. Here's the model. Take a spare room, your own, or a small commercial space, and kit it out once with soundproofing, microphones, lighting, and a simple camera setup. Then rent that room out by the hour to podcasters and content creators who don't want to buy any of it themselves. This is a completely real, already proven business model. Studios listed on marketplaces like Peerspace and Gigster running anywhere from $20 to $200 per hour, with the average landing around $75 to $119 per hour, depending on the city and setup. Some studios charge $60 per hour for just the room and equipment, or $150 per hour if you add a technician to run the session for the client. The initial setup cost is genuinely modest for a business like this. A solid mid-range equipment package with essential microphones, an audio interface, and basic monitoring typically runs around $5,000 to $8,000 to get started. That's a real, achievable starting investment, not something that requires investors or a loan. So why does this work as a business? 1, you're renting the same asset over and over. Unlike a service business where you trade hours for money once, this room can be booked multiple times a day, every single day, with no additional cost to you beyond basic upkeep. 2, you're solving a real expensive problem cheaply for the customer. A podcaster paying $75 an hour for 2 hours a month spends far less than buying, learning, and maintaining professional equipment themselves. So this is genuinely a good deal for them, not just a good deal for you. 3, demand keeps growing faster than supply in most cities. The number of podcast listeners in the U.S. has grown from around 120 million in 2021 to over 160 million by 2024, meaning more people are starting shows every year, and most cities still don't have enough quality studio space to match that growth. That's a real ongoing supply gap, not a saturated market yet. So, how do you actually start this? Step 1, pick your space. It doesn't need to be commercial real estate. A spare bedroom, a garage conversion, or a small rented office all work as long as you can control the acoustics. Step 2, soundproof and set it up properly. Acoustic panels, a decent isolation booth or treated walls, 1 or 2 quality microphones, basic studio lighting, and a simple multi-camera setup are the baseline most successful studios use. This is your $5,000 to $8,000 starting investment. Step 3, list it on the platforms where bookers already are. Peerspace and Gigster are 2 major marketplaces that already have people actively searching for podcast studio space in their city. You don't need to build your own booking website from scratch to get your first customers. Step 4, price by the hour with a minimum booking time. Most studios require a 2-hour minimum booking, which protects your time from very short, low-value sessions while still keeping the price accessible for beginners. Step 5. Offer a light add-on service. Basic post-production editing, or having a technician run the session for less experienced podcasters, lets you charge significantly more per booking. Some studios charge $150 an hour or more once a technician is included. Months 1 to 3. You're running one room, building your first bookings, mostly from beginner podcasters and local creators finding you through the marketplace listings. Months 3 to 6. As reviews build up, you start attracting repeat clients. Podcasters who record weekly or bi-weekly become your most valuable customers since they're booking the same slot regularly instead of a one-time session. Months 6 to 12. This is where you reinvest. Many successful studio operators use profits from the first room to build a second, differently themed room, giving you 2 bookable spaces instead of 1, effectively doubling your capacity without doubling your rent. Some operators start layering in premium options here too, like multi-camera video setups, which studios charge $150 to $300 an hour for roughly double the audio-only rate. Year 2 and beyond. The real scale lever is turning this into a small studio brand rather than a single room. Once you have a proven layout and workflow, that setup is directly repeatable. A second location in a different part of town, or franchising the exact model to someone else who runs it while you consult on the build-out. On the numbers, even conservatively, a single room booked for just 4 hours a day, 5 days a week, at $75 an hour, works out to around $1,500 a week, roughly $6,000 a month from one room alone before add-on services like editing or technician support. 2 rooms running at that same pace puts you well into 6-figure annual revenue territory from what started as one spare room and a $5,000 to $8,000 setup. This business doesn't need a new invention, a patent, or a viral idea. It needs a quiet room, some foam panels, a couple of decent microphones, and people who already need exactly what you're offering. The podcasting boom isn't slowing down, and most cities still don't have enough good rooms for all the people trying to start one. If you want more such business ideas, like and subscribe to the channel.